Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RanchoInvestor.com's. What is this? This is our daily brief or recap. Actually, Kevin and I were debating the course of the history of humanity, the fate of the universe. So, my apologies. Actually, we started this a little late today, but it's at 11:30 on the west coast. I suppose back east in Europe, you guys are probably pretty much finished your days. As you can see, Sjord's working away on the dashboard, so unfortunately can't really report on that today. But geez, it's one of those never been closer. And every single day we get a little bit closer. So wish us luck on that. Speaking to you guys particularly, specifically, I suppose, I get the impression that we're sort of very firmly into the summer doldrums. Lots of sort of small back and forth, individual stories, but the broader market itself kind of wishy washy. It's interesting to see, if we look at relatively speaking, we can kind of see that money is pouring into the big tech stocks, things like Google and Facebook. But junior market, the broader market, keep in mind this is 2,000 stocks, so Russell 2000, man, it's just sort of sitting there doing nothing. Kind of like the same as crypto, just kind of even gold and silver. I suppose the oil is working its way back up. Oh, wonderful. But crypto itself, yeah, kind of just parked here. Same thing with bonds. And even the currencies. They often say that, this is an options expiry day, being Friday. But they often say that usually this is about the big monthly contract, but the weekly contracts as well, especially if we're in a very low liquidity, low volatility market. We went through the options open interest, and I think on balance, yeah, it's over here. Wall Street does pretty darn well. This is the options that are expiring today. As long as they keep the market below, say, 440, that big options contract open interest, probably the roof of this market here. And really, looks like 433 is the heaviest on the put side, and there's nothing up here. So they take the market out anywhere up here. It's just a massive home run on the puts. So way to go, Wall Street. You won again. Um, and often they say like most of the business, if you will, is done on the Thursday, and then the Friday itself is actually relatively quiet. So, looking at currency land, you can see we've kind of parked ourselves in a little bit of a range up top here. Interesting how we banged up right up against a foggy boggy level and then just sort of stopped here. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a big pullback here in the US dollar. Feels like it's coming. US stock market itself actually surging to new highs here, surprisingly. The big indexes. We probably still have to worry about things like Dow theory sell signals. Yeah, that's still very valid. Transports are nowhere near new highs. We got a quick little sell signal. Remember that outside downside key reversal in the Dow, which translated into a huge quick trade. Then we quickly ratcheted right back up, and now we're back at new highs with the transports still sanguine. This is dangerous, folks. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. I got a funny feeling a really big stock market crash. It's coming up here probably in about 2 or 3 months. I don't think it's happening now. I think they're going to just keep taking this market higher and higher and higher into sort of like the fall, and then oh boy, look out. So anyway, fun. I suppose that would make perfect sense in this crazy ass world. So stocks continuing to surge higher here. And this is also an interesting testament. Like sometimes when you get into weak economies, the smaller stocks that don't really have that big earnings push, they get left by the sidelines. The companies that do have big, chunky earning streams and are still earning money, they often are actually looked at as sort of like a defensive place to hide out. And so that's kind of our conversation about this, the Russell 2000 versus the Dow, just breaking to new lows. We had a little bit of a rally, but now we're right back down against those lows again. there's not a lot of interest in the junior stock market right now, which is there's not a lot of interest in the speculative part of the stock market. Still lots of interest in the blue chip conservative part of the market and things like Google's and Facebook's and stuff. And if you actually look at that breadth data, where do I have that? We were looking at Facebook options there in the daily brief, but where the hell do I have that data? Screw it. We'll move on. I'll look at it another day. Oil. We've talked a little bit about how oil is actually flashed a bit of a double top here. Counter trend rally, we just put in this little inverted empire. So counter trend rally back up against the top end of its range with the gold. Risk on. So it's interesting to see risk off assets, bonds, just doji day. Gold, meh. Was actually a deep down day, just now turning into kind of a doji day, maybe a little bit of a hammer. While risk still gets a bit up here a bit. Interestingly, the Bitcoin, the corn, still very much sort of dead cat bounce off of kind of new lows, not really, new intraday lows, but new clothesline lows. So, it's not really any buy signal there. It's probably actually a lot like the oil, just sort of dead cat bouncing. Do we just go and fractal out and roll over and head to new lows? Or can we W out here and then actually form a base where I could think about serious pushes back up top? There's nothing really to get too excited about here. Summer doldrums, big doji day. And same sort of thing in the poop coins. We had little fractal reversals off the bottom. Interesting how the Bitcoin candle was so big that it didn't really produce a clean fractal there. You can see this one's a little bit cleaner. A lot of these little altcoins, especially things like DeFi names and stuff that are pretty sexy, they are trying desperately to put in bottoms. Ethereums, Litecoins, all that kind of stuff. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, ideally, we'd like to see W's coming out of here. But hell, even when you get W's, sometimes that, craps out here. So, as I've been telling people in the public, number one, usually I'm right, but usually I'm early. So I'm thinking we're near a bottom and we're getting ready to rally, but we might be a few weeks early on that. Then number two, I like the idea of a sort of late summer, August time period, cryptocurrency sort of fun environment, altcoins, that kind of stuff. Again, I think we're a bit early. So what I'm saying is that, look, I'm from Missouri. Show me that you actually have a bottom working, and I'll start getting bullish. Like right now, at the very best on these shitcoins, I've got like a head and shoulders potential. So for now, I'm going to want to see a counter trend rally. I want to see a test of the lows. I want to see the market turn back up and confirm and carve out a big W. We're still early. So not really like, oh my God, we got to hurry up and get in there and buy. Just sort of like it's the summer doldrums. It's slow. We're heading into a weekend. So let's just go slowly and let's just wait for the market to actually turn back up before we declare bull. I did have somebody even on the website yesterday kind of go, come on, there's got to be a trade somewhere. Come on, let's trade. And I'm kind of like, no. I want to just let things settle down. I want to see the bull. I want to see the buyers come back in volume, in size. And then I'll start getting, okay, let's go out and buy a whole bunch of shit. I mean, I did have a bunch of stink bids that got filled, and I still have more stink bids on things like the corn and Ethereum and stuff lower. But all my sort of momentum trades right now, nope, nothing to do. Just cool your jets. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And I know it's really hard for people. Is it ironically enough, it's exactly the opposite of what we just went through. How ironic. Where I had to sit there for like a couple months with people going, oh no, it's an endless bull. You don't have to do technical analysis. It'll always go up. Guaranteed. And I'm like, nope. You better cool your jets. You better relax. There's a top somewhere in here. And of course, if you did make money, you better pay yourself, blah, 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 blah. And down we go. Well, actually, I'm not quite sure what the hell happened here. Um, so I would say it's the same thing now, right? Got to cool your jets. Got to wait for the W's to come in. When they come in, all right, we can start rocking and rolling. But not just yet. Close, but not yet. So there's your backdrop. In fact, actually, I even spent a good portion of today trying to teach the community. Jesus, look at your this NEWE is looking good there, Kevin. But there's one of Kevin's stocks. He was super jazzed about that. Look at that chart. Gee whiz. There's some money to be made on that thing, eh? Wow. But actually, I spent a good portion of today in the daily brief because, things like crypto stocks and, your cryptocurrencies themselves. Where's my crypto stock list? Here we are. Nothing really to get too excited about. There just isn't. Don't try and push this, folks. Just let the bottoms come in on their own. So, what did we do today? Well, today we talked a lot about. I know for some reason you guys in the public recently are getting super jazzed at the idea of me turning a buddy of mine into a millionaire just trading these little penny stocks. You're more than welcome to join me. Here's an example of one that we bought last summer, and it will be a very, pretty typical trade that I do in the venture cap space. And here it is up here today, 10x off of what we bought it at. So I spent a lot of time today actually trying to teach the site people that fascinatingly, our models get us to invest in these things when they're shells and they don't really have an idea put into them. Ironically enough, this one, for example, it was rolled back all the way back here. And they slowly cleaned it up. And of course, good old W's on big volume spikes. That's what's going to make you rich, folks. I don't know whether you can learn this shit, but damn. And then, what's fascinating is now industry itself. They've obviously got a property, they've got results, things are rocking and rolling, and the market's bid this thing up to insane levels. So actually, I spent a lot of time today just walking through the mechanics of how all this works, and it's not really anything out of the ordinary. It's very normal. And if anything, this is what we do. The interesting thing about this, of course, is that the people read about these things in the newspaper and trade publications, and they come in and buy it up here. Well, that's not where you want to buy the damn thing. So you want to make your, 300, 400% returns. Well, what you really have to be doing is looking when the names look like this. And so, it's just interesting. These are before the face rips. And what do investment ideas look like when we're sort of doing our due diligence? None of them look very exciting, do they? They all look like they're at the bottom end of the ranges. They all look like crap. They all look like, oh my God, I'm going to go bankrupt if I buy these things. And yet, ironically enough, this is the end result, right? We buy when they look like shit and we sell when they rally. And so quite literally, I thought it was kind of funny. Like today, we just simply went through a before and after. And whatever it's worth, this one here, this is an extra trade. We actually bought this thing down in here, right where the rollback is. So the point being that, I like to sort of keep on the yesterday's list. You can't buy these things now unless, of course, you sell up top and you're reloading on pullbacks. What are sort of tomorrow's stories? Well, they all kind of look like this, where, like a name like this GEM, to me, that's got money written all over it. So it's just a question of how long does it take me to work my way in here, get in at a good level, and then, of course, be patient and disciplined and wait for those triples and quadruples. So that's kind of what I did today because it's summer doldrummy day. Not really a heck of a lot to get too excited about here in the broader market. And with regard to risk, you can see we're kind of emming out here on the crypto names. And, our junior market just is big, hurry up and do nothing. So not a lot of profits to be had today. Did see a couple big winners on the site. In fact, actually, I could sell some more of this GOT at another double. today, but gee whiz, the results that these guys coming out with, I've already, sold half on a double twice now. So this is totally free stock. And I mean, you tell me, is that, well, actually, this isn't the best example. But I could very easily see this thing up to $3 a share, no problem here. I mean, look at that chart; it's just pristine. So, am I really in a big hurry to let any more of this go? Not really. Probably, maybe I'll look to sell some at that 877 up there. So, wish me luck, everybody. Did have a couple other special case scenarios that people were quite happy about. On the site. A name that I've already, Jesus, look at your stock go here, Kevin. Damn it. I can't get in this thing. I think I got bids down below. Anyway, good looking stock there. Jesus.
I actually got filled at 405 today.
405. Oh, you bastard.
Yeah, on
nice
that look.
fill. Well done. Well done. This is another one on the site. People banged off a nice big win. They actually went in and reloaded after selling up top here. So selling more doubles. Way to go, guys. So proud of you. But as you can see, it's kind of like a special scenario kind of market. I mean, if you look at a lot of these big blue chip stocks, they're not doing anything today. It's just big blah. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the S&Ps, they're up a grand total of 1%. Woohoo! It's a bull market. Well, sort of. So, remember I said that options expiry right on that 440 is probably an important exercise strike price. My hunch is they've got the market exactly where they want it, and they're just going to park it here. So. Okay, I don't know whether that was really much benefit to you guys. I sure hope you enjoyed the offering. It's not a hell of a lot new to talk to you guys about. Really, if anything, what I just want is I want this market to settle down, start Wing out, especially on these big indexes. Things like corn, hell, I need to see Mountain Man. These green boxes, this is where I want to be buyer, not up here. So with that kind of backdrop, it's awfully hard for me to get too enthusiastic about buying much here. So there's your market summary. We are coming into the weekend, so it should be lots of fun. Try not to take too many wooden nickels. If anything, half of the reason why the volatility is coming out of the price is because you guys are all going into DeFi and locking up your coins and stuff and grabbing those wonderful APRs. You don't really need to speculate and move the market around. The only reason why this market moved up, in my opinion, was because of, and really more importantly, Bitcoin was because of the Coinbase IPO. So once the Coinbase IPO was done, and of course we had dog money, sort of distraction on the side. Once that's done, there's no other reason to really fundamentally be involved. And so as a result, price is just drifting here. What a surprise. All right, everybody, go slowly. We'll see everybody for broiler chickens on Sunday. PMA for the win. All the best. And Kevin, if you could take us on out of here, the only thing left for Brian to say at this point is bye for now.